And the other thing I noticed too is that and this is something that personally I like in fiction, uh, and it's a hard thing to bring across, but there's a like simultaneously for me there felt like a real spareness uh, to the writing certainly and to the sentiments as well, but at the same time a kind of exuberance about it too. A certain, it's not as if it's so spare that it feels like like a writing exercise or something. What's the most you can say in 100 words or something? But it's at the same time very spare but very evocative. Is that something that you're aware of when you're writing, that you're trying to always, in a way, mush it down to the something that's very compact and hard? Does that make any sense? Resonate with you?
I think in some ways it connects up to the issue of being underwritten or overwritten. And I've never been prone to having paragraphs and paragraphs of description, minute description of someone's house or someone's character or someone's appearance. I've never done that. And I think sometimes that I should do more of that, but it is just not the kind of writer that I am. And I'm thinking about when you are on the bus or something and you overhear two people behind you talking. I mean, it's not necessary for you to have a detailed description of anything, but just the particular things that they're mentioning, the particular details. I mean, that's what makes it something that you're really interested in, or a fragment of a conversation you hear as you're walking along on a hiking trail. That can be enough. I mean, if there's enough energy in that fragment, well, that can lead to a whole an entire story. So I guess it's a different approach, and yeah, I definitely am relying on the reader to fill in a lot of the blanks in their imagination, which I think is a process that's pretty automatic to us all.
Yeah, I think that's right. I mean, it's not as if, like I say, I felt that this is a weird minimalism that I don't understand what's happening here, because the other thing of what you said, you're quite right that you can make a story from a detail kind of thing. But the other thing is that you don't need, often one doesn't need, and often a writer doesn't need 10 and a half pages of something describing a room in order to evoke that room kind of thing. Some telling details of things will be all you really need. And also maybe the room is irrelevant. Maybe the details in the room are irrelevant to what's happening. I sometimes wonder, and I wonder if you do as well, whether you think that's a personal liking, or do you, in the sense that you don't want to read descriptions of what the carpet was like and what kind of dresser and their television and stuff like that, or do you think that that's something that's that your method is just as valid as it were, kind of thing? I guess what I'm saying is that, do you think that your method is different, or do you feel that it's one among many that people either like or dislike in fiction?
Um, I'm not sure whether it's my method is better or inferior to anyone else's, but I think we both had the experience where you're reading through the latest prize winner and you're on to page 3 or 4, and you're not really feeling it. You're waiting for when is it going to begin. You're wondering, why is all this detail brought in? You want something that grabs you right away in the first few paragraphs and doesn't let go. So that's kind of what I'm aiming for. I think we've had conversations about this before, but I don't have the patience for a chapter that didn't go well, especially if that's the first chapter in your book and you did not construct it in a way to make it make me want to continue. So people talk about getting halfway through a book before it starts to get going, well, that's way too forgiving in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't make it that. I wouldn't make it that far either.